Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWUS. Another week 0 game here. Hawaii at Vanderbilt. Vandy went over to Honolulu last year, beat them 63-10. Hawaii hoping for a better start to the season this year. They finished 3-10 last year, but they were 9-4 against the spread. So they were covering. Vanderbilt 5-7 overall, 5-7 against the spread. This line opened up Vandy minus 18, and the total opened up at 57.5. Let's do it.
Welcome to the SWUS. The SWUS. Hey, get the SWUS.
So like I said, this line opened up Vanderbilt minus 18, quickly dropped down to 17.5, and the action's coming in pretty split even on this one. Both the tickets and the handle, basically close to 50-50. Odds makers seem to have this one nailed at Vandy minus 17.5. So Timmy Chang's first year as head coach at his alma mater didn't go exactly as planned. Like I said, they finished 3-10, but wildly enough, they cashed their team win total over. Was set at 2. So if you took Hawaii over wins, even though they went 3-10, you cashed. So somehow overperformed despite finishing 3-10. What we did see was a serious turnaround after a really rough looking start. So Hawaii started the season off 0-4, 1-3 against the spread, right? Their average point differential, they were losing those 4 games by an average of 37.5 points. But in the last 8 games of their season last year, we saw them turn things around. Yes, they went just 2-6, but 7-1 against the spread in their final 8, and their average point differential dropped from 37.5 to 6.8. So Hawaii was playing teams tough. Add in the fact that Hawaii got absolutely dismantled by Vanderbilt last year, like I said earlier, 63-10. I think the Rainbow Warriors are a bit undervalued heading into this matchup, looking at a possible revenge spot. Offensively, we know Hawaii wants to throw the football. Last year, they had a pass frequency of 56.06%. That was 21st in the entire country. Now, part of that is the play calling. I'm sure part of that was also they spent a lot of the year being behind on the scoreboard, but still, this is a passing offense last year. They bring back the same coach and the same quarterback. I expect to see more passing this year from Hawaii. Unfortunately for Vanderbilt, their best defensive trait was stopping the run. Yes, they allowed 5.3 yards per carry last season, but keep in mind, they play an SEC schedule. Their defensive effective rush rating sits at 52nd on beta rank. Still not great, but it's still far better than their defensive effective pass rating, which is 121st. 121st against the pass last year analytically. That's absolutely awful for a Power 5 school, let alone an SEC school. So yeah, Vanderbilt's pass defense was absolutely dreadful last year. And I'm not just talking about advanced metrics either, even basic stats. 127th in passing yards allowed per game, 125th in average passer rating allowed. That is concerning, considering the Vanderbilt cornerback room this year lacking experience, and they're leaning on redshirt freshmen to make impacts in some areas of the game. This is a bottom 10 in the entire country in sack percentage. I think Timmy Chang's offense is looking at a really good opportunity to put up some numbers here on a Vanderbilt defense I don't expect to be very good. When it comes to Vanderbilt's offense, though, we saw some major improvements last year from this unit. They averaged 347 yards per game and 24.6 points per game. Those are their best marks in the last 4 years. For reference, they averaged just 313 and 15.8 points per game in 2021. So we saw a huge jump in Vanderbilt's offensive production last year. AJ Swan's back at quarterback for Vandy, and from what I'm reading, some people say this is the best Vanderbilt arm they've seen since Jay Cutler. Finished the 2022 season with a decent 58% completion, 6.4 yards per attempt, 10 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. That's a solid ratio there. He did miss some time due to injury. What I like about this matchup is AJ Swan is a pure pocket passer. He only had 21 carries for negative 76 rushing yards on the season. This is not a quarterback that likes to run the ball. The reason I particularly like that in this matchup is the Hawaii pass defense might be the worst thing I've ever seen. Check this out. Not only did Hawaii's pass defense allow a 151.1 average passer rating last season, 117th in FBS, but on the road, they allowed an average passer rating of 169.6, an average passer rating. 130th in the FBS. And that doesn't even encompass the massive mess the Rainbow Warriors defense was in defending the run as well. Bottom 5 nationally in both rushing yards per game allowed, 220.6, and rushing yards per carry allowed, 5.8. So not only do I expect AJ Swan to be able to throw the ball with ease against the Hawaii defense, but Vanderbilt was actually somewhat successful running the ball last year. They ranked 57 in effective rush in the country. But I expect them to run the ball in Hawaii too. I don't think the Rainbow Warrior defense should be able to stop anybody this year. We do have to mention that Vanderbilt lost their back. Ray Davis hit the transfer portal. Where did he go again? Kentucky. So Ray Davis is over Kentucky. My bad, slipped my mind. But many people believe that their freshman Cedric Alexander is going to make an immediate impact. They like this kid a lot. So as far as betting this game, I mean, I hate both these defenses. So how are we not slamming that over at 55.5? Definitely on the over. If I had to pick the side, I mean, let's take a look at some trends. Hawaii, 9-4 against the spread last year, 4-2 against the spread on the road, 6-2 against the spread as a 10 or more point underdog, and 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games. Hawaii was a hot bet to finish the season. Meanwhile, on the other side, we got Vanderbilt, who was just 1-5 against the spread as a home favorite since 2019. So this has not been a favorable spot for them. Just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 as a 10+ point favorite, and 4-8 against the spread versus non-conference opponents since 2019. So trends are pointing towards Hawaii in a huge way. So I'm going to take the points. I like the over at 55.5, but I'm also going to bet Hawaii plus 18 or 17.5, I think it's at. If you only want to place one bet and you want to combine those two, I would take Hawaii team total over 19.5. And probably, in fact, I probably will bet that. I'll let you know final decisions on the live show at 11 a.m. Saturday morning. If you're able to make it, would love to see you in the comments. If you want the final VIP tickets that I post, which has my top bets for the week, parlay of the day, I do a weekly giveaway for NFL. Like if week 1 is a signed Keenan Allen helmet, the Discord, it comes with all that. If you're interested in that, head over to KyleKirms.com or download the Sauce Network app. College football, week 0. So fired up for it. Remember to bet responsibly. It's a long season. You don't want to blow through your bankroll, just overreaching on games. Week 0 is difficult to predict. So remember to stay conservative. Hit me up on Twitter if you need anything, and let's bring in some units.